Hello guys, let's talk some Battlefield 2042 today again. A lot has happened since the launch of the game. There are some good and some bad news, let's go through all of them. Let's go through some bad news first. The verdict on Battlefield 2042 is in. And it's bad. It's not looking good at all. According to some articles, the game has entered Steam's 10 worst reviewed games of all time list. In fact, even googling Battlefield 2042 paints a painful picture. Yikes. I can't say I didn't see this coming. It was obvious ever since the early access release of the game that this would be the case. But now it's official. Battlefield 2042 dethroned Battlefield 4 as the most broken game release. You can say that Battlefield 2042 truly is a successor to Battlefield 4. Since my last video I went and played some Breakthrough, just to see how it compares to Conquest. And to be quite honest, Breakthrough is really bad. Every issue the game has is even more apparent there. Not to mention a lot of more issues showed up in the meantime. If I was to name every issue the game currently has, Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment will look like a quick and easy read. The more you play this game, the more you realize how broken it is. Almost everything in this game is broken in one way or another. The small amount of weapons we have in the base game is even smaller if you consider that assault rifles and LMGs are bad and in 99% of the time unusable because of the excessive bullet spread. Vehicle balance is another thing. Vehicle balance was so rough in Conquest, but after playing Breakthrough the word imbalance got a whole new meaning. The other thing that seems a bit problematic are the spawns. On certain points, on certain maps, it can become impossible to respawn without getting spawn killed. One of those is Sector D on the Renewal map. On Breakthrough that became even more apparent. At some point during a match you fight over one capture point that is way too near a spawn point. And if the team balance is just a bit off, you get overrun by vehicles and spawn killed in the process. This happened to me in almost every game of Breakthrough I've played, after which I've just stopped playing it. Which is really sad because Breakthrough is one of my favorite game modes in Battlefield 5. Breakthrough's biggest issues by now are bugs and vehicle balance. Combining that with 128 players fighting over one capture point makes it way too frustrating to play. After all that said guys, you should still keep in mind these are my experiences. Other people might be experiencing totally different things. That's why I encourage people to watch as many videos as possible to get a clear understanding of the game. A quick update before the video continues. Yesterday, just before I wanted to upload this video, a new dev update blog post went online. It goes over the things I'm discussing in this video, namely the day 1 update and the second update that we now know is coming tomorrow. It also goes over the third update, which was originally set for end of November. Now it's officially confirmed that update will be coming early December. The third update is really huge and it could be a video by itself. It contains a lot of fixes people have been wanting to see ever since the early access. Safe to say issues are getting fixed. Link to the post is in the description. Now finally, let's go through some good news. So let's start off by talking about the first update the game has received. Last week, just the day before the official release date, the game has received an update. Even though players are reporting better performance overall and a lot of issues have been fixed, sadly this wasn't the miracle update players were expecting. This update was mainly aimed at fixing rubber banding issues that was caused by the motion sensor and stuttering on breakaway that started to occur after the silo was destroyed. They are still investigating similar occurrences on other maps. Those were the two main issues that were addressed with this update. There are also some smaller bug fixes and tweaks, and if you're interested in reading the rest you can pause the video or read the official notes by clicking the link in the description below. The game is still set to receive 2 more updates, the first of which we should see this week and the second by the end of the month. So I went through social media and collected some information about the upcoming updates, and I found a lot of interesting things that are being fixed and addressed in the next update. According to Battlefield's Direct Communications Twitter account, this week's update should fix the following issues. The first issue they mention is the soldier revive. This was the issue where if you died near an object you could not be revived, and in some rare cases you could not even respawn. Next up we have the UAV-1 interaction. They say, quote, "We temporarily removed this whilst we could evaluate the best way to keep it balanced and fun. That work is now complete and we'll be looking to re-enable this alongside the next update." Apparently something like missing levels was a thing. Dice says, quote, "A rare issue that could sometimes cause a data call to fail on our end now has a fix developed and is presently in testing. We are keen to roll this one out to you all and make sure that you don't have the frustration of needing to reconnect to a server." And here comes the best part, guys. Vehicle balancing. The LCA hovercraft will be re-equipped with lighter armor, lowering its HP, and they're looking into tuning down some of its weaponry. Similar to the hovercraft, the MD540 Nightbird will receive similar weapon tuning as well. So those were the official updates we might see in this week's update. Now let's check some other updates that I found on Twitter. Those were mainly answers that DICE developers gave to some players' questions. A lot of them tackle the biggest issues currently in the game. Most notable one is the gun bloom. According to Junksy, the lead game designer, they've already done those changes on their side. Now it's a matter of getting those changes in one of the upcoming updates. Hopefully this change will make assault rifles and LMGs useful. Another interesting information I found is regarding transparency settings. These are the settings that enable you to change the transparency and scale of the objective icons so you can check your targets easier. We covered this topic in the last video and said how this was the feature that was missing from the last Battlefield game. So it's nice to see it's coming back. Another big issue that is being resolved is the hit registration. I gave an example of this issue in my previous video where bullets are clearly hitting the target but nothing is happening. There are also a lot of minor fixes that are coming, like the hovercraft's windshield being impenetrable, or like the 6x scope not zooming in. So these are the fixes that I found are being implemented or are being looked at. Of course, there are a lot more issues need fixing, but at this point I'm just glad the issues are being resolved and not ignored like in the past. Because despite all the bugs and issues this game has, I'm still having a blast playing it, and I would really love to see it succeed. And that is it. That was my video on the current state and upcoming updates for Battlefield 2042. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Also consider subscribing, it would mean a lot. Thank you and see you in the next one.